Bradley Beal might get the Supermax.
I love that this is the last topic of the show.
Bradley
Very
Beal.
mellow. Just
Right, we showed love to Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal says it's fair to say he's leaning towards re-signing with the Wizards. It would be a 5-year, $246 million deal, $49.2 million a year. Now,
you want that bread, bro? He about that paper.
if the Wizards give Bradley Beal a Supermax, would that be a mistake?
Can I go first?
Reggie Jackson was a plus 44 when he played you guys.
Yeah? That's nuts. Let me say this. man.
Dinwiddie had 36 tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Age like one. Age like
I'm a
one.
Nets fan.
Huh?
I was a Nets fan. My guy.
No, I just mean in the sense that we had that. And he started shaky, but he started to come into
He's
his
a
own
good
recently.
bench player,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he's good. That's what.
But,
he is. Great six man.
This would be such a huge mistake. Right now, Bradley Beal, he is a great scorer, no doubt. He's a good rebounder, decent playmaker, sure. Ultimately, he can't win you can't win with this guy as the number one on your team.
I like Dinwiddie.
Even in his best season with the Wizards, they didn't get past the first round.
It was him and Westbrook.
It's a lot that has to go on within the organization. There's a lot that has to go on within the organization for them to put together a team with Bradley Beal being their best player to compete for a championship. And right now, with the East getting better and better, probably the best the East has been in over 2 decades.
Since Jordan. No, I'm just joking.
2011?
Yes, something along that line.
Was it?
The Wizards are going to be put in a spot
Miami
where
was still the favorite, though, right?
Yeah, but you saw tough teams. Miami,
it was tough, but I always had
Orlando,
Miami coming out.
Chicago, Atlanta was still good. It was a really tough.
The Pacers. Yeah.
But the Wizards are going to be put in a spot where they either need to figure it out as an organization of how to build a championship caliber team with Bradley Beal as their guy, or they could save $245 million. That's what the deal was, $245.
Supermax, yeah.
A Supermax. $249 of
$49 million a year.
Giving him over almost $50 giving him almost $50 million a season.
He better
when
sign
right
that.
now if he's smart, he takes the money because that is a stupid contract. But if I'm the Wizards, I look at Bradley Beal and I understand the value that I could get for him. Do I want to be put in a position where I'm forced to building a team around Bradley Beal as my best player? Or do I want to try and trade Bradley Beal, get assets, get future picks that I could put into building a future for the Washington Wizards? Right now, the Wizards aren't a top destination for free agents by any means. It has been like that for years. They've never been a spot where players want to go play, even when they had Wall, even when they had Beal together as that duo. No one really was attracted to go play in Washington. It's going to continue to be that way. It doesn't matter who's the main guy on the team. They need to build through the draft. And giving Bradley Beal this money would put them at a huge disadvantage to compete in the East for years to come.
You ever thought about the possibility of maybe a sign and trade?
No team's going to want to give him $245.
No, Washington gives him that money, and then they trade Bradley Beal.
Correct, and whatever team he goes to is going to have to pay them that bread.
This is
I don't let him walk.
You know what's
raging next year?
You think that Beal is a superstar, so you think he deserves this?
It's not about. I don't think. First of all, I don't think he's a superstar. What's wrong with you?
Like when Mike Conley was the highest paid player in the NBA.
I think it's really about situation. You gotta look at Washington and just be like if I'm Washington, do I want to be competitive? Bradley Beal makes us somewhat competitive, but if I'm like, there's nobody, like you said, there's nobody gonna come here. This is probably the best star I'm gonna get, right? And I don't know what's the position like they're stuck in kind of a weird position because they got all these guys under contract. You know, Kyle Kuzma, he's good, but he's what he's gonna be. Thomas Bryant is what he's gonna be. Like they have a lot of what he's gonna be type of players. I mean,
Pope,
Denny Avia, goodness gracious, KCP, yeah, he's what he's gonna be. What about
Denny?
He's a good player. I was saying when you said that, he's really what he's gonna be. But Denny Avia, he's a really good player. So I think like him, Rui,
Gafford,
but you still even Rui, it's like. You kind of can hit at what he's going to be, Gafford too. So it's like they don't have any young, real star to kind of build around. So they're kind of stuck in this place where it's like, do we give him the Supermax to be competitive? Do we let him walk and we just become nothing? I think like the best position probably would be to just either maybe work on a destination to send them to get some assets back. And if not, ultimately, you have to just let him walk. Don't put yourself in a position where you keep Bradley Beal for 6 long years. He's 28 years old. So by 34, that would be his contract end. You don't want to keep him for that long. You want to keep building on this draft pick. You're Washington. You're D.C. Nobody wants to play in D.C. Nobody wants to play there. So your best bet is to go through the draft, build strong. You know, maybe if you can't trade back Beal for some assets, let him walk to free agency. Let him go find someplace else because you're not gonna win with this roster. You're not gonna make the playoffs with this roster. You're struggling to get in the play-in right now. So I think this is definitely a bad mistake. But for Beal, take the money. I actually sign it tomorrow. This is a big deal. Like, get your bread, bro.
Bradley Beal's going to sign this contract. The Wizards are going to give him this contract. And the reason why I know the Wizards are going to offer Beal the Supermax is because they just traded for Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis is getting paid $30 million a year.
Yep.
So Washington obviously does not care about how much they pay mid-level stars. They're going to hand Beal the contract because they're going to say, look, man, we have KP and Kuzma and KCP. We're building something. We're building something for you.
Gafford.
So Beal is definitely, he would be a dumb dude to not take this contract. He's going to take it. There's no doubt. Should they give it to him, though? Absolutely not. If the Wizards offer Bradley Beal a Supermax contract, it's going to be the second worst mistake in franchise history behind giving Gilbert Arenas 6 years, $111 million. And this situation reminds me back in 2018, I believe, when the Hornets had the ability to offer Kemba Walker a 5-year, $221 million deal. The Hornets didn't offer to him. And now, years later, they are one of the more exciting, fun teams in the NBA to watch. They have LaMelo Ball, who's going to be way better than Kemba ever was.
Facts.
Damn.
That's the proper direction the Wizards have to take. Look at the Hornets. Despite all the mistakes Michael Jordan has made as an owner,
He's improved.
not signing Kemba, not offering him the Supermax was a great decision. And if the Wizards should be looking at Charlotte like, we should do what they did and not offer Bradley Beal the Supermax. And Beal in 40 games this year is averaging 23 points per game. His efficiency is down. His playmaking has gotten up, but he's not a Supermax level player. And with the core of Bradley Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma, what are they doing in an Eastern Conference that has gotten more competitive? They're doing nothing. The Wizards should have traded Bradley Beal last year, should have traded him before this season. It's honestly been a while that they should have traded him. But now they're stuck, and they're probably going to offer him the Supermax, and they're going to regret it.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I never thought Bradley Beal was a max level player. To be honest with you, I mean,
Not even the max, regular max.
okay, regular max. Yes,
He's
yes,
not a max level.
Like Randall got a max. He can get a
Yeah,
max.
he could get a max.
Randall got a max. I thought he's got a good contract.
Randall didn't get a max.
They capping, right?
Oh,
That's not
He got
capping.
150, didn't he?
He didn't get a max.
Oh, he didn't get a max.
What was the max?
The max was like 40 mil. He's getting like 28 mil
Did
a year.
AD get 180?
AD got a max.
Well, 80 is a max level.
No,
player.
no, I know he is, but that's what I was wondering. Is it
Different
180 the
markets.
max?
Wait,
No,
For players not on the same team that go to a
180
is the max.
low-
Okay.
180 is the
So
max.
he did get 150. Or was it 140?
Nah, AD had the super though.
He got 180.
Julius Randle was coming off an All-NBA.
Correct.
You got to remember
He could have demanded
he's
it,
making
but
about 21 mil a year, right?
No, he's making more than that.
Julius,
he's making like 28 mil.
28.
Mm-hmm.
That's
AD didn't make an All NBA team that year, so he couldn't get the supermax.
He did. He
No,
did.
remember he sat out that year.
But he got 180. AD has 180.
That's not a supermax.
It's a max.
So this
you
year-
can't get a super max
so
if you
next
leave your
season-
team.
So next season, Randall's getting 23 mil,
should've
then
done.
26, then 27, then 29, and it's a player option. So it's a team-friendly contract,
Yeah.
hypothetically.
So you guys play him 28 mil to suck?
He doesn't suck.
He's been playing better.
He has been playing better.
Well,
Also,
see-
right? I mean, yeah. But like I was saying, I mean, Bradley Beal. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you look at teams like Milwaukee, they have Giannis. You look at teams like Brooklyn, they have a Kevin Durant. You even have a team like the Chicago Bulls, who have a DeMar DeRozan. Bradley Beal isn't better than any of these players. And to agree with what Joel said this year, Bradley Beal is coming off a statistically down year. Last year he was second in the NBA in scoring behind Steph Curry. Could have won a scoring title. Was close. The year before he averaged 30. This year he's coming back and he's looked like kind of like a shell of himself, to be honest. And then I just look at the Wizards' records throughout the years. I mean, I have them right here. I mean, 28 and 34 this year, albeit he hasn't played much season-ending injury. Last year, 34 and 38, barely made the playoffs, got gentlemen swept in the first round. We could all agree Bradley Beal was the best player on that team. The year before, 25 and 47, 32 and 50. This team peaked when they had John Wall and Bradley Beal making the second round. So I'm not would that make Bradley Beal the highest paid player ever if he got that contract? No,
49 mil. James Harden could get 50 mil this offseason.
Okay. Steph makes more than him.
but that would make Bradley Beal one of the highest players.
Yeah,
I think
one of
that's
the
the
highest paid
I think
players.
that's the highest contract in NBA history.
Yeah.
245, 249 would be the highest.
And look, but we have to see who we're comparing him to his contemporaries. I mean, Steph Curry, James Harden, these are all world superstar,
Those are
Hall
like
of Fame level
contemporaries.
players. This is not, and I guess for Bradley Beal, if I was him, I would take the contract. It's a very lucrative contract, and you're gonna be set for life. So, but other than that, I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. The Wizards kind of have to build through the draft. I mean, you have to do what the Hornets did. You have to do what a team like Milwaukee did. You have to build through the draft. Nobody's walking through the door is going to sign to go play, especially in Washington, with Bradley Beal being your best headline player. So, I mean, I'm with the assumption that they have to build through the draft. I think it'd be stupid to give Bradley Beal this money. I know he's a free agent coming up this year. I would let him walk. I don't even know if I was Washington at this point with all the antics and stuff that he's done with the team, being on with the team, then being off with the team based on their performance levels. I wouldn't offer him a contract. I would let him go. I mean, and just build through the draft. I mean, to offer this guy $49 million a year, you're kind of hindering your cap, albeit nobody's going to come through. But I'm of the assumption you're a low market team, and you're not gonna attract any free agents. So your best bet is to build through the draft and take like a Charlotte Hornets or a Milwaukee Bucks level approach to it. Hopefully you hit in the draft and you draft a superstar, and just go from there. But offer him a 28-year-old Bradley Beal who has declined tremendously from last year, from his 31 points per game season until now. I don't think that's a smart move for the Wizards.
Wizards get hypothetical. Bradley Beal signs. Wizards get the number 1 pick. Just hypothetical. Who do they pick?
Chet.
They go Chet?
Chet.
Even with Porzingis?
Oh,
Jabari?
Even with all that log jam at the forward spot?
I think they have to trade back and get like, I don't know.
Like two lottery picks?
Like, I don't know.
See, like now if that happens, that's
Because
something
they
really
can
good.
they can trade to Portland and get both of their lottery picks, and then they give Portland 1
I think Jaden Ivey should go.
to Washington.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Beal's a 2.
He could play the 1 though.
You're not. I mean,
They're
so
screwed.
if they don't
Have a
offer
logjam at the
so if they don't
forward.
offer Bradley
Rui,
Beal this contract, let's say
Kuzma.
they don't offer him this contract, right? Because I'm kind of a little confused with this part of contracts. I'm not that like in tune with the contracts. So if they don't offer Bradley Beal this contract, dude, that means they keep all this money, right?
He goes to the offseason, but a team can't give him the same amount of money. You can only get a supermax from the team you played for.
Okay, so it's up for Washington to offer it to him as well, though.
Yes.
Which we're all the assumption that they probably are going to offer him the
Washington
Supermax.
has to
but
offer
if
it,
they didn't offer him the Supermax, he wouldn't get that much money, but no money would be coming off the books for Washington.
No money. Well, if he accepts his player option in this offseason, they'll still have to pay that. But then he can walk. He could decline that and walk. He could walk either way. But if they don't give him this contract, Washington keeps their money.
I don't think Washington should give him this contract, to be honest. I think you got to build to the draft.